Hello, fellow book beasts and fantasy sci-fi lovers. Good evening. It's me, it's Triple B. Let's spill that tea. In today's top story, the news has been making rounds around the bookish tubes and the bookish social media that a certain self-published author has signed a deal worth 6 figures, which is fantastic, with the Broken Binding. It is none other than Ryan Cahill, author of Bound and the Broken, a wonderful self-published series that I am in the midst of and hoping to catch up on by the release of his new book in 2025. This is a fantastic story and a great inspirational message to all of us who aspire to be a writer or who aspire to do anything, to never give up on your dreams, work hard, put in the work, be an awesome person, and good things will happen. So congrats to Ryan. I say, round of applause. Everybody's excited. And I'm going to break character for a moment and say, I am excited. Way to go, Ryan. That is freaking awesome. But the fantasy and sci-fi community is excited for Ryan. We all look forward to seeing what he does and what him and the Broken Binding can do together in this wonderful partnership. Congrats again. In other news, the British Fantasy Society Awards were announced. The results were announced on October 12th, just over the weekend. And here are the winners, if it tickles your fancy. Your fantasy fancy. But the winner for Best Collection was Toby Agundrian for Jackal Jackal, Tales of the Dark and Fantastic. The winner for Best Fantasy Novel went to Talon Sister by Jen Williams. The Best Horror Novel went to Don't Fear the Reaper, Stephen Graham Jones. Best Novella went to Last Dragoners of Baobazar by Indra Das. I had not heard of that. I do love novellas, so I'll have to check that one out. It did beat out Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher and Untethered Sky by Fonda Lee. Best short fiction was The Brazen Head of Westinghouse by Tim Major. Best anthology, Out There Screaming by Jordan Peele. That is one I want to check out. Best indie press, Flame Tree Press. Need to check them out. I've not heard of them. Beat out Angry Robot, who I love. And those were the winners of the 2024 British Society Fantasy Awards. Now you know. In other news, DC's Absolute Universe debuts this month. Already at the beginning of the month, October 2nd, we had the DC Absolute All-In Special that had a one-shot of every character setting up every series, 64 pages long. And this past week on October 9th, Absolute Batman #1 came out. What is this Absolute Universe? It is very similar to the Ultimate Marvel Universe. It is a completely rebooting on the side, not messing with the regular continuity of DC, but its own thing where they can play in a sandbox with these characters and create their own things. And basically, it has taken everything you know about each of these characters and flipped them upside down. For example, Batman is no longer a billionaire. He does not have gadgets and money to rely on. Superman has his powers, but is very alienated because he never was taken in by the Kents, did not have a family, and learn what he learned from them. Things such as that. Very interesting. I love comics. I love DC, and I'm looking forward to getting my All-In Absolute Special and Batman #1 to check them out. Let me know if you have checked them out yet and what you think about this. I'm excited. Now it's time to talk about cover reveals, books coming out this week, and so on and so forth, including, for the first time on the Beast Tea Weekly, we're going to spill some tea about a title reveal. First up, we have a cover reveal that was reported on by the great, fantastic booktuber Patrick Leo previously, and I am also going to share the news now, and that is this cover, this beautiful cover for Grave Empire by Richard Swan. He is the author of Justice of Kings, the Empire of the Wolf trilogy that I really enjoyed. Justice of Kings, cannot wait to finish that trilogy later this year or in 2025 when I can get it in. But this Grave Empire is the first book of his new series called The Great Silence, and it is set in the same world as Justice of Kings, but into the future, which is exciting. I love when authors do that. So it'll have new characters, but same world, the story that has happened, same political groups, and I'm very interested to finish Justice of Kings, Empire of the Wolf trilogy, and then go into this. It's coming out February 25th, and it sounds awesome. So keep an eye out for that. We'll talk more about that as it gets closer. And now for a title reveal, the first ever on Beast Tea Weekly. And this is a title reveal for a book by the fantastic author Brian Wilson. And it is for his Power of the Stars trilogy, book number 3. We have a short video to share with you right now to unveil the title of book 3. Enjoy. Fantastic. Another great name. As you could see, The Dark Element is book 3 in the Power of the Stars series. If you want to know more about that, lucky for you, I'm going to tell you right now, because I just purchased the prequel novella and books 1 and 2 from Brian himself. I've talked to him. He's fantastic, a very great author, but also a very great human being. I enjoyed conversating with him, and I'm looking forward to him coming on the channel soon after I dive into his books. So we have the prequel novella, Princess of Oldor. These are beautiful covers. The Forsaken Planet, book 1. And book 2, Son of the Prophets. I look forward to seeing what the cover reveal will be for Dark Element. Can't wait to see what he does with these beautiful arty covers. Let me tell you what book 1 is about. The world is more than just a planet. It is an ancient tribute to the woman who guided it from ruin, a devastation she foresaw arising again. When mysterious aircraft wreak havoc across Earth's skies, it is revealed that there are clusters of other planets where humankind resides, distant worlds, where the people wield the power of the stars themselves. It is an energy force that can bring about miracles or, as the alien fleet's ruthless leader displays, unleash horrors beyond imagination. After experiencing a loss during the onslaught, Colton Sampson, an ordinary college student, vows to protect his loved ones at any cost. But to learn the power to do so, he must enlist into the army of the Universal Throne, a second alien force with its own agenda. With the revelation of a secret prophecy foretelling humanity's demise, and Colton's improbable role in preventing it, he embarks alongside a diverse group of friends to the throne's capital, the planet of Vintara. There he faces prejudice from supposed allies, lifelike combat simulations that test him to his core, and the looming threat of a universal war. Only by embracing his true potential can Colton hope to secure the safety he seeks in a universe that views him as nothing more than forsaken. Fantastic. These are beautiful books, and I cannot wait to read them. Brian, thank you. You are amazing. Congrats on book 3. Can't wait to hear more. It's time to talk about some books that are releasing this week, the week of October 14th, 2024. First up, we have a book called And the Sky Bled by Essa T. This is what it's about. In the occupied city of Teja Maha, calor, a magical fossil fuel, is found only in the blood rains that fall from the sky. A 6-month drought has brought Teja Maha to a desperate standstill, and rumors of a secret stash of the magic propel 3 unlikely treasure seekers to risk everything. Tenacious and street-smart Zane has been forced to steal calor for her slumlord bosses for years. Finding the magic reserve might be her only key to freedom, but she'll have to contend with Iravan Kotar, a slumlord himself and an ambitious revolutionary hoping to use the same magic to save his people from a mysteriousness, and to bolster a fight against their oppressors. Meanwhile, heiress Anastasia leads the ruling council of Teja Maha from the safety of a nearby island. With the hidden magic, she could finally take full control of the city and crush the slums beneath her unyielding fist. As the 3 draw closer to finding the treasure, their paths tangle, and not for the first time. They met before, a decade ago, in a fire that destroyed each of their lives in different ways. Their reunion might bring the already weakened city to its knees. Look for that October 15th. Sounds good. Next up, we have a book called Bull Moon Rising by Ruby Dixon. If that author's name sounds familiar, it should. She was the author of the Ice Planet Barbarian series. Spicy. Very spicy. This is her new book, and it is called, as I said, Bull Moon Rising. Comes out October 15th. Let's hear what this steamy fantasy is about. As a holder's daughter, Aspeth Anari knows the importance of magical artifacts, which is why it's a disaster that her father has gambled all theirs away. Now that her family is in danger of losing their hold and their heads, if anyone finds out the truth, Aspeth decides to do something about it. She'll join the Royal Artifictual Guild and the adventurers who explore ancient underground ruins to retrieve the coveted arcane items. It's a great plan, with one big problem. The guild won't let her train because she's a woman. Aspeth needs a chaperone of some kind. The best way to get around this problem? Marry someone who will let her become an apprentice. Who better than a surly guild member who requires a favor of his own? He's a minotaur. It's fine. Who's a teacher, who's her teacher, also fine. And he's about to go into a rut, which is where it gets tricky. He also has no idea she's a noble. Oops. And he'll want nothing to do with her if he discovers her real identity. Could be a problem. Now Aspeth just has to pass the guild test, thwart a fortune hunter, and save her hold. Oh, and survive a rut with her monstrous, horned husband, whom she might be falling in love with. I'm not going to lie, that sounds pretty good. I think it sounds like a fun ride. If you want to check that out, October 15th is when it comes out. Also on October 15th, we have a book called Infernal's Heir by Tiffany Wang. It's a fantasy debut for this author. Tea Carthan abandoned her morals long ago, and now there's nothing she won't do to stay alive. So far, she has survived her parents' deaths, the ire of the council, and innumerable attempts on her life, orchestrated by Jura, her half-brother and soon-to-be the king of Erisea. Tea's rare control over 2 elements mark her as both an outsider and a formidable opponent. But once Jura is crowned king, there will be no way to survive him. Not for Tea, not for anyone. When Jura moves to crush the rebellion that seeks to overthrow the monarchy, Tea sees one last opportunity to ensure her own safety. She can infiltrate the rebels, locate their base, and betray them to Jura, trading their lives for her own. Yet, when Tea meets the rebels, she gets far more than she bargained for, and when she gains not only their trust but their friendship, she begins to have doubts. Perhaps the rebels are right. Perhaps the Golden Palace should be torn down and the monarchy destroyed. But then again, what if there's another possibility? What if Tea were on the throne instead? Sounds pretty good. Look for that on October 15th. Finally, a book I am very excited about. Excited that it's coming out October 19th. My friend Dave Lawson, his book, The Invoice of War, is coming out, and I couldn't be more excited. You all know that I already read it. If you haven't seen my interview on Beast Friends Forever with Dave Lawson, please check it out. It was a lot of fun. You should buy this book. I really enjoyed it. If you like humor in your fantasy, if you like twists and turns, if you like political intrigue, if you like a lot of action, if you like fast-paced action with witty banter and dialogue, this is for you. If you like a book that can straddle the line between serious and dark and funny and witty, this is the book for you. It is fantastic. Let me read you the blurb. Don't kill the messengers. Jen wants nothing more than to travel, serve her king, and hit things with her sword. Working as an envoy is the perfect job, till the king sends her into war-torn enemy territory along with her friend Corden, to deliver vital military intelligence to an allied nation. Corden's the worst kind of libertine, arrogant, brash, and on the run from half the husbands in the kingdom. And though normally Jen would enjoy the excitement of traveling with him, she knows she'll have to clean up his messes on the journey, even as they encounter enemy troops, bandits, and a mage with revenge on his mind. As the mission spirals out of control, and they learn of an ominous enemy plot that threatens their safety and that of the companions they meet along the way, they must decide what matters more, their mission or their friends. A rollicking fantasy adventure for fans of Nicholas Eames and Michael J. Sullivan. October 19th. Check it out. You won't regret it. Now it's time to turn the page and focus on some bearded book beast news for the channel. First up, Triple B is going to share with you a little thrift store fun. Join me elsewhere as I recap a little thrift store challenge and we go on the hunt for some books. What's up, beasties? This is a little segment, a little preview, if you will, a little thrift store hunting time with the beast. Eventually I want to do long form videos where I do a thrift store challenge, so I'm going to do just a little short one to give you an idea and have some fun so you know what's coming. So I have $5, 5 ones. And I'm going to go to my local thrift store and I'm going to see what I can get for $5, how many books I can get. But not only that, I'm going to score them and then give a final score at the end. Eventually, I'm going to do long form videos where I have 20 and I go to multiple thrift stores till I run out of the 20 and we see what books we can find and how high of a score we can get. So I'm going to keep it simple for today. The books I get will be either 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points. If it is a book of just interest, it's 1 point. If it is a fantasy or sci-fi book, my favorite genre, it's 2 points. And if it is a signed book, a special edition, a rare book, something like that, then it's 3 points. So let's see what we can do. At my local thrift store, there's two. There's there's like an outer building where they have bigger like furniture and outdoor equipment and bikes and things like that, but they also have some books there. I'm gonna go there first, and then I'll go to the inside where they have the clothing and dishes and appliances, but then they have more books there. So we're gonna check them both out, see what we can find, how far we can make $5 go. Let's do it. Alright, beasties, struck out in the first building, in the outer building. I usually like to go there first because they have books that are a quarter, but there was just not much. Like, unfortunately, the people in my community don't read a lot of fantasy or sci-fi, or really even horror. There's a lot of just regular fiction, or kind of, you know, the department store fiction. A lot of James Patterson, a lot of John Grisham, a lot of I don't even know, just not something I want to really spend money on. So I struck out there. I didn't see one fantasy or sci-fi book, which is a bummer. Maybe a couple that were close, but anyway, we got one more building to check out, so hopefully we can find some good stuff in there. Let's go check it out. beasties, I actually found some good stuff, and we spent all $5. So let me show you what I got. All right, so first, I love collections and short story collections, that kind of stuff, and I found a very cool. Wait a minute, what is this? No. I found a very cool Writers of the Future sci-fi and fantasy collection. So that is a pretty cool one. That is something I'm interested in, and it was fantasy sci-fi, so that's going to be 2 points. And then, whoa, I found this cool edition of Beowulf, and this chainmail is like raised, so it feels cool, pretty cool. That is something I'm interested in, and I feel like it falls under the sci-fi fantasy because he does fight a dragon in it, I think. I've never read it, so I'm excited about that. So that's another 2 points, so now we're at 4 points. Then I found this cool book by Kate Elliott, who I've always wanted to read her other series, but I haven't. But this is called Black Wolves. It's from Orbit, and it says it's like Shogun meets... where is it at on here? Shogun meets Marco Polo, the show from Netflix, which I never watched, but it sounds pretty cool and looks cool, and it's book 1 of a series I didn't know that Kate Elliott wrote, so excited about that one. So that is fantasy again, so that's 2, 4, 6 points. And then I found, I'm trying to collect all the Redwall books. Love those as a kid. I want to get the whole collection. They're mismatched, but I don't care. I think that's kind of, I love that with like old, I'm trying to find all the old covers of, oh my gosh, Wheel of Time. And I just love finding the old artwork ones, hardcover, mass market, paperback. So anyway, this is a little different than the mass markets I've been getting. It's a newer one, but newer version. But Legend of Luke, didn't have that one yet, so that was a cool find. And then, so that's another 2 points, so that's 2, 4, 6. Hold on, losing track here. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then I got a hardcover of A Column of Fire in great shape from Ken Follett. I had Pillars of the Earth. I have Pillars of the Earth and what was the other? World Without End. So now I have the first 3 books in that collection, and someday I do want to read it when I knock out some other things. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. So that was something else in that same genre. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points. Not too shabby. 5 books. Each one I actually got lucky, because normally paperback books would be $1.50 and hardcovers are $2. So normally that would have cost me $9, but they were half off, so I got lucky, very lucky. So let's see, 75 cents. That doesn't make, yeah, 75. So the 4 paperbacks were $3, and then the hardcover was $1. So I actually spent $4 and change. So I actually spent less than $5. Not too shabby. So hopefully you guys like that. Let me know if you'd like to see longer videos where I have $20 and go around to different stores and see what I can get. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it, Beasties. Back to the Beast Tea Weekly. Spill that tea.
Now you're going to join me in a segment where I talk about how I went overboard during October Prime Days this past week. But you get to enjoy the mini book haul that I got. Let's go check it out.
Beasties? This is a little segment I like to call I Went a Little Crazy for Amazon Prime Days in October. And now you get to see what I got. The book bringer, of course. Where I go, she goes. Let's do it. Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. That's the side. the book burner brought us. Oh, some good stuff. Okay. Part 1. So this is a book I've wanted to read for a long time. And I'm facing my fears with this one, Beasties. It is called I Found Puppets Living in My Apartment Walls by Ben Farthing. He's got a lot of cool books. They're short that I want to check out. This one I've had my eye on the longest. You know I hate puppets. I hate Muppets. I hate Big Bird. So this is going to be a fun one. Look forward to me reading that soon. And then I had some deals that were like buy one, get one free for certain books or buy two, get one free. I have the first one of this. Oh, man, we got a little tear in the jacket. I'm going to have to ask for another one. Look at that. But beautiful, isn't it? I have the first one. Love it. So I had to grab the second one. I'm going to try to start reading some of this author in 2025. I mean, some of the color illustrations in these are beautiful, but definitely going to have to ask for another copy. That dust jacket is really still beautiful. Love that green. This one I am excited about. It's called The Devil by Name by Keith Rawson. This is number 2 in a series. The first book came out last year called Fever House, and I'm excited to read that one. Definitely going to be reading these soon, especially now that the sequel's out. Very cool sounding series with supernatural horror, demon stuff. The first one has like a hand that's possessed that these, like the guys that a gangster, a mafia guy will send to like beat people up and shake them down for money. They end up getting this hand that has powers and is possessed, and this continues that story. So look for that. I'm on that soon. I've been excited about this one. Dead Cattail Assassins by P. Deli Clark. Sounds pretty good. Nice short novella / short book. Not quite 200 pages. Oh, a little over 200. Excited to read that one. I really liked, what's it called? I can't remember the book they wrote now. My mind is blanked. But anyway, I really like their other books. I'm excited to check this out. And I was talking about a lot of kind of gross horror stuff, grotesque, not grotesque, but like kind of shock fiction in the horror genre. And this is one that I've always wanted to check out. Tender is the Flesh. Sounds pretty interesting. It's like a future in the future. People are getting like harvested and slaughtered for their like meat and stuff. And it's about our main character like works at a plant that does that and is struggling with what they see and what they're doing and all that stuff. Sounds very interesting. What we got in here? Feels heavy. I think the pruner's done its job. Oh yeah. This one's got some really good ones in here. Alright, first up we got Soul Fraud by Andrew Gibler. I wanted to read this for a long time and collect these paperbacks. They're so pretty. The hardcovers are too, but love Chris McGrath. He's one of my favorite cover artists, if not my favorite. So I cannot wait to read this too. This story sounds great. Character kind of gets tricked into giving his soul to a demon, and now he wants to try to get it back. So it's called the Debt Collection, the series. Then we have one that sounds pretty wild. It's called The Long Nights by Tom Mott. And let me see if I can get this right. I don't want to mess it up. So it's about Joe Kellerman. This is the first book in a series, and he's a telepath. And they're trying to find a serial killer called the Night Walker Killer. And they think it's a vampire. So he tries to go into a vampire's head and memories to like try to find things out for this case. And it, of course, just messes with him. So it just sounds really interesting to have like a telepath going into a vampire's memory and mind and twisted dark mind. That sounds really good. Then this one I've had my eye on for a long time, and I've talked to the author. He's super cool, but look at this cover. Violence and Vigilance by David T. List. Look at that. Beautiful. Like Mad Max fantasy
Like, sounds so cool. And of course, anytime you can have a cover, cover illustration by Felix Ortiz, another one of my favorite cover artists, I'm there. So just look at that again. Cannot wait to read this one. Definitely going on in 2025, if not sooner. One that I've been hearing a lot about and I wanted to get while spooky season was still going on, and it was a great deal, is Boys in the Valley by Philip Cassie. Can't wait to check this one out. Orphanage, demon possession, creepy stuff. Excited to read that one. Another one I've heard great things about is this cute little paperback from M. Daniel McDowell, Bringer of the Scourge. It's got a really cool cover on it. It's supposed to be dark and a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to read it. It's a nice, shorter read, so definitely be reading that one soon. Again, look at that cover. I love the purples, and that image on the front is pretty sweet. Definitely we'll talk more about these all when they get into my TBR, but I will tell you a little bit about this one, since this one, I want you to know a little bit about what it is. So it starts off saying that the last living daughter of the tyrant king waits locked in a tower cell for the prophesied apocalypse only she can prevent. Army of three brittle allegiances, united under a rival prince, aims for the throne and lays siege to the castle in search of the princess and the fabled weaponry of the empire. With the aid of her mentor in music and swords, and a desperate cultist sent to find her before the mercenaries do, Verlin steals that formidable ancient weapon from her crypt, an ancient holy suit of armor and a diadem fused with the soul of a demon prince, the bringer of the scourge. With its power, she discovers an unstoppable force within herself, but the demon is corrosive, hungry, and dangerously persuasive. So she's trying to tame this demon inside and save the world from this apocalypse. And just, again, that looks sweet. Sounds fun. Cannot wait to read it. And I talked to the author, and she's very kind, very awesome. So I'm really excited to read that one. And then I got a couple books, some more Secret Scribes. First, we've got The Ballad of Spricket the Bard and Company by Sean O'Boyle. This is supposed to be really good. A lot of humor in it. I'm excited to read it. It says, a fantasy misadventure. The Freelands, a far-off fantastical world full of warriors, gallant heroes, and gentle souls. Spricket the Bard is precisely none of those things. However, he's not without his own unique qualities. He enjoys the simple things in life, song, merriment, and mostly victimless swindles. It's supposed to be really good. And finally, another Secret Scribe, Bella Dunn. Look at this beautiful cover. The Dreams Thief. Look at that. So pretty. It says, Brun McClue is weary. For 500 years, he endured a life of loneliness, impatiently waiting for his days to come to an end and his grief along with it. Fate, however, has other plans. A new heir to the legacy he's duty-bound to protect is born 250 years after his greatest failure. He has no choice. He has to fulfill his purpose and hope this task will be his last. Lizzie Endell was prepared to spend a very long summer in the company of her parents when the news of an astonishing inheritance in Scotland wreaks havoc on her otherwise ordinary life and puts her on the path of the captivating Bruin McClue and of mortal danger. To survive, they will have no choice but to unearth layers of secrets and solve ancient riddles. Will they find a way to defeat the faceless creature known as the Dreams Thief? Sounds awesome. And I talked to Bella. She is fantastic, so excited to give this a read. That is my Went a Little Crazy on Prime Days in October haul. Hope you guys enjoyed. Back to the Beastie Weekly. That's going to hurt the old wallet. And it did. But they were good deals. And I love books. Next up, we're going to take a look back and see what I read this week and talk about it. Let's go, shall we? What's up, beasties? Coming to you live from the cave. This is around the corner of my library and books. This is kind of where I keep all my books that I need to go through, that I'm going to sell on Pango, that I'm trying to decide what to do with, that I'm getting rid of, unhauling, and then just some storage behind me. I have my little chair here that I can put my feet up and lay back and read down here sometimes. So just thought I'd do a quick little weekly reading update from here, since you guys haven't seen this area really before. So here we go. Let's talk about what I read this week. So, of course, I'm still going through Way of Kings, and I'm loving it. It's great. Having a good time with it. I'm getting close to the halfway point. Went out of town this weekend, and I did most of the driving. So while I was driving, I was listening to the audiobook of it, which is great. I like to do that so that I can try to keep up on these things. But yeah, I'm loving it. Love all the POVs. Love the world building. It's just good. I get why people like it so much, and I think I'm reading it just a little bit here and there because I'm trying to get through my spooky season TBR to kind of just pump the brakes on 100% fantasy and try to do some spooky horror stuff more. But then once November comes, November and December, I'm going all in on Stormlight, see if I can make it in time for Wind and Truth. Probably won't, but we'll see how close I come. But I'm going to keep going through that. Between Two Fires, I am enjoying, but I did not finish it yet. But I should wrap it up in the next day or two, pretty close to the end. I think there's 400 pages, and I'm at 320 something. So yeah, I should finish that up in the next day or two. Looking forward to that. But it's an interesting book. I do like it. It is very dark, with the plague being the backdrop. It's very cool, very interesting, and the main character is very interesting. He has a lot of issues, a lot of vices and depression, and yeah, it's very interesting. I can't wait to talk more about it when I'm done. I'll do a video on it, and it'll be interesting to talk about. He has a lot of fever dreams and a lot of strange things that happen, and then all of a sudden you find out he was just imagining it. It's very dark and twisted and interesting, but I enjoy it. So yeah, I can't wait till it's done to talk to you about it more. And then novella wise, I just had kind of not a great week for reading. I know I've said that a lot, but I had a lot of meetings, a lot of paperwork, a lot of things I had to do at home from work. This week is actually looking very normal, just work and then come home. No meetings, no paperwork, so it should be nice. Should be able to catch up on reading. Then this weekend I was gone for a long weekend out of town. My aunt had a retirement party. It was fun to see my siblings and hang out a few hours away. Hadn't seen them for quite a while. So I didn't get much reading done there, obviously, because I was spending time with family. But anyway, I did read a little bit of Death Cult. And it was pretty good. I actually am really enjoying it. I read the first 3 chapters and sucked me in right away. It feels like I'm reading a slasher horror movie, and I'm excited to keep going with it. Should definitely wrap this up in the next couple of days too, and then that way I can get into the novella that I'm reading this week. You'll find out about, or you might have already found about in the last segment. About what I'm going to be reading. Nope, that will come after this. So yeah, you'll see. Graphic novel wise, I did read Go West, and this was really cool, really good. It's kind of this. I thought it was just straight up. I'm not quite sure. Okay, so it's set where it feels like it's the West. Turn that back on. But it feels like it's the Old West, but he does drive a motorcycle. So it's either an alternate reality timeline, or it's like post-apocalyptic after regular times, and it went back to the Western days. And I'm not really sure what the apocalyptic part is, but there's just some people that are effed up. And it's about this guy who used to be kind of an assassin, killer, mercenary type of guy, did a lot of bad things. He's known as Slade the Blade, and he kind of met someone and tried to start a normal life, get married, had a kid, trying to live the good life, but the people that he worked for didn't want to let him go, didn't want to let him leave. So his past catches up to him with catastrophic, very heart-wrenching results. And then he's out for revenge. And that's kind of what the story's about. And it's very cool, very bloody. The artwork is awesome. And I thought it was just straight about zombies, but it was not. So it's very interesting. It was just volume 1. There's more to the story, and it wraps up the story arc of the first one really well. But I'm excited to see where it goes from here, because I would like to know what the event was that made us kind of go backwards to the Old West days. So I don't know. I'll be reading more of that and checking it out. And then manga-wise, I read Dorohedoro, and it was really cool. I mean, this artwork is freaking awesome. Check this out. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. And the story was really cool. I really liked it a lot. It's about this kind of grungy city called The Hole, where all these people live in that have been transmutated into different things like animals, or they have animal heads, or bug bodies, and like all this just crazy stuff. And it turns out that there's these mages, or like sorcerers in training, and they come through these magic doors to the whole city, and they just mess with people and practice their sorcery and magic. And it's about their main character. He's trying to figure out who turned him into a giant lizard man. And he's got, let's see if it says what his name is in here. Cayman. Yep, Cayman and his friend Nikado. She runs like a restaurant, and he loves to eat her food. But they're helping each other, and they actually kill all these sorcerers that come and do this to people. But before they do, he tries to find out if the sorcerer is the one that changed him. Because once you kill the sorcerer that transmutated you, you go back to normal, your human form. And he's got like a person inside of him, inside of his big lizard head, that he'll catch a sorcerer and he'll open up his mouth, and he'll put their head in his mouth, and then this dude comes out from his throat and looks at them and will say, "Nope, it's not you," and then he'll just kill them. It's very interesting. It's as if it sounds wild, it is wild, but it's actually really good. I really liked it. Definitely gonna get the next volume and read more of that. And yeah, that's what I read this week. So it was a good week. Didn't read as much as I hoped, but I kind of knew it was going to be a rough week for that. So this week I'm looking forward to getting through a lot more and keeping you guys updated on it. So back to the Beastie Weekly.
All right. Thank you for that great, exciting look back at what I've been reading this week. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you're wondering, what about this coming week? What's next? After all that great stuff you read, what are you going to read next? That's our next segment. It's time to talk about what I will be reading this week.
What's up, Beasties? It's time to talk about what I'm going to be reading this upcoming week. I've got them right here, and I'm going to tell you. All right, so first, I'm going to try to read a little bit from this. A little bit of H.P. Lovecraft. Didn't get a chance to read it this last week, but I want to read these throughout the month, so I'll try to read some of that and let you guys know about it. Of course, I'm going to keep working on Way of Kings. I did a lot of driving this weekend, listened to audiobook for a few hours. Got probably another 100 pages in, so I'm getting close to the halfway point. I think November and December is going to be a lot of Stormlight to see if I can make it in time for Wind and Truth. But for now, I'm just reading this a little bit here and there, amongst other things. Then for my main book of the week, I need to finish up Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman. I did not finish it this week as I'd hoped, but I'm almost there. I should be able to finish it up in the next day or two, hopefully in the next day. So I'm going to finish that up, and then I will finally start Speaks the Nightbird, which I've been waiting for a long time. Very excited. Should be starting this hopefully Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll have to throw up a short later this week to let you guys know when I get going on it. Then novella-wise, I am going to finish up Death Cult. I'm really excited to keep going with this. I've read the first couple chapters this weekend when I was out of town kind of at the hotel and here and there when I had a chance. Not much, but this is a quick read, and just the first couple chapters pulled me in, and I loved them. So should finish this up in the next day or two, and then my novella for this week is going to be an interesting one. So you all know I hate Big Bird, and puppets freak me out. So this is an author I've been wanting to try for a long time, Ben Farthing, his horror books. This one is I Found Puppets Living in My Apartment Walls. I'm excited to check that one out. Sounds creepy. Nice, quick novella, short book. So I'm going to read that this week. Graphic novels. I'm going to read Monstrous, Volume 3. It's signed by the author up there in the monstrous part. Got this at a Comic-Con. I've read the first 2 volumes and liked them. It's got cool artwork. I'll talk more about it after I read it. And then I'll probably keep going with Something's Killing the Children and Grimm. Really loving those 2 right now, and they're fitting the October vibe. Manga, I don't physically have anything, but I'm going to keep reading Berserk. Going to keep rolling through that. Hellsing. And then also I want to check out Little Monster. That would be graphic novels. Little Monsters by Jeff Lemire. Going to read that one too, but that's all I got planned for this week. Can't wait to update you next week and maybe along the way.
Fantastic. Up next, we're going to talk about the special edition of the week. For that, we're going to stay right here for 2 reasons. One, because the video that I pre-recorded for this segment had terrible microphone and audio, which you may have noticed some crackling in other segments, and I apologize. My extra microphone that I use to record outside of the newsroom has been acting up, so for this, we're going to keep it right here for the special edition, and I have the honor of unveiling it to you. This week, to celebrate Ryan Cahill's fantastic signing with the Broken Binding, we're going to take a look at his special edition of Blood and Fire. Look at this beauty right here. Wow. Look at this slipcase. Beautiful. Fabulous. Fantastic. Look at that. Beautiful art on the cover. Gold sprayed edges. But that's not all. No, no, no. Look at that. Think that's beautiful? Look at that. We have a gorgeous map on the end papers, signed by the author and numbered, and beautiful colored illustrations. Look at this. Stunning. This is a beautiful special edition. One of my favorites. And I am excited that I got to share it with you. That was our special edition of the week. I hope you enjoyed. Let's take a look at what's coming up on the channel. A little segment we like to call What's Happening? Yeah. So this week on the channel, we're going to try to do the videos that we wanted to do last week, but did not have time. I'm starting to say we, like the Bearded Book Beast Chris that you see in the segments is not the same person that you see in front of you. And it's probably going to keep happening, and it'll be a fun little part of the Beast Tea Weekly. There's a little tea for you. I'm talking about myself like I'm 2 different people. Anyway, moving on. Last week on the channel, it ended up just being a little bit too busy, and we did not complete the videos that we had hoped to do. So this week, look for the list of indie books and authors that I'm excited to read, as well as my top 5 horror books, as well as 5 horror books that I am excited to read and check out. Also this week on the channel, I have an interview with someone that I'm very excited to be having on Beast Friends Forever, my good friend Andrew
from Andrew's Wizardly Reads, a fantastic booktuber, a fantastic person who was one of the first booktubers that reached out to me and took the time to get to know me and become a friend and offer advice. And I am eternally grateful to Andrew for that. He's fantastic, and I cannot wait to have him on the channel and talk to him. It's going to be a great time. So look for that interview on Wednesday night this week. On Thursday night, October 17th, this week. I have some other things in the works with a couple of authors. It could end up being later this week on the weekend, or it could be next week. So keep an eye out on the channel for more information about those possible interviews coming up that I'm very excited about. Now it's time for my writing update. Not a lot of writing done this week. It was very busy, as I spoke of before, with work and paperwork, lots of things I had to bring home from work, and traveling for a long weekend to visit family. So not a lot of time for writing, but the dream continues, and I will not give up. So I do want to offer maybe a little bit more about what my story is about. As I said before, it's kind of a mashup of some things that I love, like First Law / Game of Thrones type world with low magic, but a little magic, but low magic. A very dark world with morally great characters. I love that. And then mixed a little bit with Star Wars in the way of thinking of the stormtroopers, the evil empire, if you will, in my story does take young, able-bodied people over in areas they conquer and brainwashes them, tortures them, turns them into soldiers that they can use, and they become killing machines. And our main character was a former killing machine for them, broke free, kind of got some of his mind back, but he is a shattered soul, and he is struggling to come to terms with all the terrible things he's done. So he is traveling around this world as a bard so that he seems unassuming, so that no one takes him as a threat. And he actually is a good singer and musician, but he uses his shows in different towns to stalk and prey upon members of this evil empire when he knows they're in these towns. And there's a lot of other really cool characters, but he still has all his skills that he learned from being a killing machine. And he has a list of names from the empire it's not called the empire, but from the empire that he is after to take out, and he wants to make them all pay. And he has a mandolin that he plays, and it has lots of secret little weapons contained within that he uses. So I'm very excited. It's going well. I'm pumped about it, and I can't wait to kind of reveal to you more about the story and the characters and my plans for it as time goes on, little by little, every week. But that was just a little tease to get you a kind of a general idea of what the main character in the story will be about. Thank you. If, for some reason, you have not subscribed yet to the channel, and you're watching Beastie Weekly thinking this is fantabulous, then please hit subscribe. Helps the channel grow. Makes me happy. Helps the other Triple B happy. Makes the other Triple B happy. And you'll feel happy too, because you will be a beast friend. You will be a beastie with us, and you'll get to enjoy great segments and news. You'll be able to spill that tea every week, and it's fantastic. You'll also get to take part in community polls for my TBR, for my question of the day. Every day there's a post that goes up in the morning with a question of the day. You get to vote on it, and then you'll see what the results were that evening and what my vote would be. You don't want to miss out, so please join, become a beastie. I'm going to break character for just a moment. Please like and subscribe, become a beastie, become a beast friend. I would love to have you. It's a great community full of great people that I just absolutely adore, and we would love to have you be a part of it. So hit subscribe if you haven't yet. We love to see you back here again. And that's going to do it, folks, for this episode of Beast Tea Weekly. Thank you for joining us. I hope you are having a fantastic day. And until we see you in the next one, devour those TBRs. Be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly. And, as we like to say here, spill that tea. We'll see ya. Have a great night. Take care.